The tank is already partially filled right to the empty level of the sensor. I tried to fill the tank to about 1/4 full, but I overshot by a bit there. I'll continue to try to slowly fill the tank up to its full level. The gauge has a standard 240 to 33 ohm output that is used for the display gauge. It also has a 0 to 5 volt output that can be used for a data logger or any other type of display device. As you can see by watching the 0 to 5 volt signal on the voltmeter, the sensor has significantly more resolution than the standard display gauge. At this point, the water is right at the level of the top of the wireframe, which is the default full level for the sensor. Since I can't empty the tank out onto the table, I will pull the sensor tube up out of the water until it shows empty. Now I can slowly lower the sensor back into the water to try and show the resolution of the sensor as opposed to the gauge. You can see that the sensor output on the voltmeter starts to change even before the needle moves off of 0 on the gauge. Here I'm feeding the sensor in very slowly, trying to find the limit of the resolution. Even very small increments in level are resolved by the gauge and the voltmeter. With the gauge indicating about half full, I'll replace the lid on the tank and shake it around a bit to show the damping effect that the slosh tube has on the needle. With the needle showing about 3/4 full, I'm going to press the calibrate button on the sensor to have it accept this as the new full level. After about 10 to 15 seconds and having taken several measurements, the sensor will now accept this as the new full level. The voltmeter is not cooperating. Pushing the sensor further down into the water from here will have no effect. But pressing the sensor's calibrate button again will now set the full level to match the current level. Again, after about 10 to 15 seconds, the sensor will now accept the current fluid level as the indicated full level. Lifting the sensor back up out of the water a bit, the gauge will now indicate about 3/4 full. This same procedure can be repeated at the bottom of the range to set the level where the gauge will indicate empty.